Let there be sound. And there was sound. And it was good.
Okie dokie. Let's see if this works. Checking sounds over here. Larry, speak. Let there be sound.
I can tell
I
you
see
why it's
sound,
frozen.
but you're frozen.
Everyone and their brother are playing
Your image is frozen
Diablo
over
2
here.
Resurrection beta.
Oh,
It just
I don't know
launched
why it's frozen.
an hour and 3 minutes ago.
Right now, folks, we're playing
And
around
so the
with
network is
OBS.
just
Usually, it's like an
inundated with
adventure every
all
week.
these
It seems like
old school gamers that are feeling the nostalgia of Diablo 2.
Right. Oh dear. And I got noise on mine. That's pretty good. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can solve this over here. I'm going to first minus. Yes, I'm going to unfortunately remove you from this view over here. I'm going to add an NDI source. And I'm going
What's cool
to
is
make a new one. And let's go see if I can find.
and
Aha!
I can see your
Larry
shared screen,
Smithmier.
and so
And
I
it
can
says
see the
2.
Teams meeting has
Let me
me.
go
So
OK.
I can.
OK. And where
It's
did it add it?
yeah.
And now here you are, taking up the whole screen. Yay!
There you
Stand
go.
by.
OBS
Yes.
for the win.
Well, that's what I was doing in the meantime to show you interactive. But in actuality, here's the actual look right over here. Oh, hey, look, screen within screen. Ooh. Hey, look, art. I just created some art. OBS for the win. All right, hold on a second. Let me go minimize now this screen. And then I'm going to move you into a very honored position up in my upper left. And here I go to the lower left because I'm less honored over here. And oh no, don't move that. Don't move that. I know what I got to move.
Okay.
So many windows, so little time.
Now? Are we?
Hey, so far it's working. Larry, 1 second. I see the NDI source. You know what? I think we might have a double video audio. Say something. You probably were, and I bet when I watch the thing, it's going to be echoey when we watch this later. That's what happened last time.
Because
I forgot to
do
turn
have
off
the
one source,
you
and
know,
then your
I mean,
source
I am
didn't
here.
work.
You should go ahead and record.
So I'm going to rename this source
using Camtasia, and I can ship you the audio from my side
Larry,
if we run into problems.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm just in a quiet mood, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, if we run into problems, I can add it later.
Great.
So right now you're sounding soft, but let me go try to see what's going on with that. Speak again. You know what? You're soft on me here, but you're coming out perfectly on here.
This is the blue collar.
Great. Sure. Okay. So we spent 6 minutes solving problems in front of everybody with over here. So here's the thing. Remember, exactly. You know, we actually had an episode back when we talked about roles. And remember, we were playing around with different things. This is why people have roles. Like, well, you can be the architect, but do you also do the DevOps? Do you also do the dev, the fox watching the chickens and all that stuff? The role that's sort of missing from this one is either the AI is smart enough to do all that stuff we just did,
producer,
maybe Skynet, or we have that third person, like we had Raquel help us out. If remember, my daughter Raquel was helping out. This is where it's good to have, as they say, and they call it in Teams, they call it a producer in live events. There's a reason for that person, and when they clearly, when they were putting that together, they had maybe a TV personality type working with them. And Microsoft, of course, has MSNBC.
Yeah.
And probably that had something to do with it. It's like, well, we're about to make something that works on conferences and TV. Maybe we should bring in a TV person. That actually happened before with Tech Ed. Remember good old Tech Ed back in the day? One of the things, and they said, like, hey, we're going to have these jam sessions, and, like, you can just come up and pick up your instruments and play and do all this stuff. And then they said, as they were going along, I was on the committee that gave feedback. And the feedback is like, well, maybe you should have someone that actually does, like, concert type shows, be the one to run it. That way, if there's any kind of problems, they'll treat it at that level. Because the more that the let's just say the users,
Well, I
us, the
mean, what it
players,
is, it's a
have to think
cognitive
about where to
overhead,
plug
right?
in,
It's
what to
something
do,
that
how
you've
to
got to
be,
think about. And
that
that's
makes it less
what
friendly
we're trying
or
to do is lower that
tougher
barrier
or
to entry,
more likely
lower
a bad experience in the
that
end for the
kind
people
of
to watch. So,
friction, if you will, to getting a good show. No,
right,
right.
exactly. Now, but it doesn't mean that you eliminate the roles. Here's the thing: the cloud does not mean, if the automation does not mean that you get to eliminate that person. There is still
Yes.
that role. There's
Right.
still that human, or at least something smart enough to decide. Like, well, no, Larry doesn't quite go there. He goes here. Wait, Larry is not speaking. Remember that? If you remember, we had earlier in the screen, Larry was just sitting there frozen. It's like, what AI would have noticed that immediately, except a human
Yeah.
who noticed it? Maybe I can teach the AI, here's what Larry looks like frozen. But then I have to
They've
literally
gotten a
put
little
you in
bit
every part
better
of the
about
screen, and
being
this is
able
what
to,
Larry looks like
the
frozen, upper
position is
left,
less of a worry,
upper
but
right,
yes, you'd
upper
still have to
things. And
have
then I have to train it.
some AI. But
Um,
see, you don't, you're
it's called
looking at the
machine learning.
screen. I think that
Yes.
probably we would go layer lower if I slow down to say it, and we would look at the actual streams themselves. But see, um, Windows already has that on there now, right? When your Wi-Fi doesn't work,
Yes.
it said, "Do you want me to troubleshoot it for you?" And it goes through these troubleshooting things. So yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Machine learning.
Yep.
Hmm.
So I'm looking over here at machine learning. So this is where I was going. I was going to machine learning. How do we teach a machine to do stuff? Well, we can automate the heck out of stuff. There'll still be the need for these roles, but at some point you got to learn, right? And so here's my things. Like, look in AWS, you can apparently create an account. So I already have an account, I
A
believe.
root user, baby.
Let's go see if I do have my
Yeah,
account
no,
going.
see that.
Will it
See,
remember?
it's
Bup, 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 bup.
yeah. So
Is
you
this
don't want to
something
be
new?
root.
When have I?
This is new.
I have
I've
this
not
set
seen
up from
this.
before. You have an IM user. It's been so long since I was here. I forgot my user account. Hold on a second. Is this this? Is it? Yeah. Oh, so this is new. Oh, right. So
Hmm,
hold on a second. But now it wants in a 12 digits account or account alias. So maybe I should create a new AWS
there
account.
you go.
Let's see if it'll do it. My
Names have been
email address.
changed.
Let's see if it'll
Yeah,
remember me.
names have
Oh,
been
you know what? I
changed
can make
to
a new one, so
protect
I can
the
actually use one of my other email addresses. Here we go. Oh no, I don't want to
indecent,
use
I
that
guess.
password. Correct. Let me make something that I can
Yeah,
remember.
so it's interesting. This is actually
Da,
a
da,
great
da,
topic though,
da.
because one of the one link that I brought,
Um,
and I did bring a link. Um, Here, let me drop it in. Nope, that's not the link. Let me find the link and drop it. Is about Stargate.
right.
It's actually the first of a three-part series of Stargate tour with Elon Musk, and
Stargate.
I'm forget about the technology that they're talking about. The words that he says about the
Oh,
problems in manufacturing are the words that you need to listen to and forget the product that he's talking about. Okay, forget that it's rockets. When he's talking about software, when he's talking about rockets, you just, flip the two and everything is still work. It still works. It's still fine. Um, the hard part is not the architecture. The hard part is the delivery, right? Architects, I mean, I'm an architect, right? I draw all this stuff out, but it's the day in and day out, it's the actual production that's hard. It's setting up to produce things in quantity that's hard. And, that's what Amazon is doing here. They're going through this iterative phase. They're
all
adding
right.
in these newer pieces. And as you and I go through, more and more of these live shows, we're going to get better and better at it. Yeah.
Right. I wonder if these are required pieces of
Yeah. We
information. Let
don't
me
need to see
continue
that.
here.
We'll look at
Oh
the
yeah,
Crabby
it
Crab.
is. Hang on a second.
I
Let me
like
go
the
fill it out
picture.
over here on this side. Yes, stand by. All right. Continue to the next step. Okay, what is it mad about?
No, it's
Address entered is invalid. What? That's my address in Chicago. Oh, state. Duh. It auto populated the wrong thing.
yes.
Interesting. Holy smokes, it wants my money.
Well,
Is that just for verification or is it actually going to charge me something?
yes.
We will temporarily hold, and here it is, just so you see. This is the next step. It'll
Yes.
temporarily hold $1 pending transaction to verify my identity. Oh, smokes. I don't have any of my money over here. Hold on a second. Here, so Larry,
I'll
what was
share
that
my
link that
screen
you wanted to
here. Let
show
me see
while
if
we're
I can get a
waiting over here?
screen share
Maybe you can
going.
share your screen,
Uh,
and I'm going to share your screen right over here. I'm going to make it big. Let me close out this piece over here, and let
sure,
me go
sure.
check out, make sure that I'm gonna let you run this show for
So,
just a second while I
no,
go get my
this
my,
is
my wallet. Here you go.
a three-part series. It's a Starbase tour with Elon Musk, and it's by someone who's really interested in going to Mars, and it's the if you're interested in space at all, I strongly suggest looking at Everyday Astronaut and subscribing, all the good stuff. But the the part that's really hits home for me is here at the beginning when he's talking to Elon Musk about the rockets and about the manufacturing process. And one of the things that he that Mr. Musk says is that the it actually is as hard to build the launch facilities as it is to build the actual rocket. And for us in our, you know, in our software world, right, it's actually as difficult to build up a
Mm-hmm.
good CI/CD process as is to build the software that's going to be delivered by it.
Right.
That's kind of that parallel. And you know, the CI/CD process is not something that anyone ever sees. It's as hard to build the security layers and build that when you're talking about the different roles, in small projects, the architect is wearing a lot of those hats. Okay, the architect, the dev lead. But when you start talking about enterprise software, when you start getting to scale, things change. We need those other roles. When Ralph, when we get to show 100, we'll have a producer. When we get to show 150, we'll have a studio. You just never can tell. All we need is some good
Right.
sponsors who are willing to. Well, anyway. um, but no, it's. I strongly suggest checking this out. Listen to the words that he says about how rockets are being built and engineered, and about how products. It's not the design. It's not the architecture of the product. The design of the product that's hard. Designing the product is it is a
Right.
hard step, but setting up a manufacturing facility to build that product is, in his words, it's 1,000 or 10,000 times more difficult. So the difficulty of doing the
Huh.
design is a rounding error. And I love that quote.
Oh
I
Lord.
love that quote.
Yeah.
The difficulty in architecting software can be a rounding error. It can be, it shouldn't take too long. Modern, technology. Um, we
Yes.
we're leveraging pieces of the cloud, and we know how they fit together. So, you know, if you spend too long architecting it, you're probably overthinking it. Slow yourself down. Go to
Ah,
implementation.
this
Okay.
is true.
So, are you back?
Yeah, so like I said, out of box wherever possible. So like lately, I've become the reason why I've been like very high
Yes.
on low code
Like,
of late is mainly because of that. It's like You know that 90% or even more than that can be handled through the out of box these days. Back in the old days when you had to build stuff from scratch, they didn't exist. That's one thing. But now, if you think about it, whatever you probably imagined has probably been figured out by somebody somewhere.
Right.
The question is it sitting in AWS? Is it sitting in Amazon? Is it sitting on Microsoft? Sitting on Google or whatever? If it's in that level, you can go and find it and grab it and learn it,
Mm-hmm.
right? In my case, though, I say sometimes you got to pick a battle because it's hard to know where everything is unless you've actually been there directly and traveled the path. Then you have muscle memory that says, oh, I remember in Amazon where this is. Oh, I remember in Microsoft 365 where this is, whatever, right?
Right.
But otherwise, the first thing to do as an architect is before you start building and coming up with like this is what I know, look around to see what is the state of things now. Find that latest, get that information, that fresh information, because you could maybe be making a decision that because it's a month, 2 months, usually a year or more old in your head, it might be obsolete. It might literally lead you down the wrong path.
Yes. Well,
Hey,
and we're standing on the shoulders of giants. The software that we're writing today is leveraging so many things that were written in the past. And you and I mean, we're old, right? We've been doing this for a while. So,
well, let's remind everyone we're
um,
old. Yes.
yeah, we're old.
Okay.
But it's all of these cloud things are things that we used to have to do. And it's not walking uphill both ways in the snow to school, but it's still, you know, you used to actually have to spec out a server and build it and then install the operating system and add it to the domain and then install your software on it before you could actually get it up and
Got
running.
it.
And today it's like, you know, you're about to go into AWS and be able to build out a machine and build out a farm and,
So I went over here
you know,
first. I wanted to do some free
spend some money.
machine learning because that's what it said in the link. So I clicked on the link for machine learning. You see over here. I went from here. Machine learning. Hey, machine learning. Get your free account. So I was enticed by this
Oh, that's
link.
Azure. That's Azure. That's good.
Well, it
But
says
you're in
it gets your
Amazon.
free account for machine learning, but somehow I'm not sure what I clicked on, but somehow I got to
How'd you get to
Amazon
Amazon?
machine learning. See, that's the Azure one that came up, but you know what? That's not what happened. It brought me here, or at least not brought me here. Whatever I did before, because this is like a fresh search right over here. There's Azure. Get your
Yeah.
free account. Oh no, here it
Oh,
was.
there you
Amazon
go.
machine learning. It was down here. Broad set of
Broad set.
free. Again, like Mr. Like Uncle Air, I went and said, "Free, I'm taking it." Right now,
Free
here's the
is
thing:
good.
I'm a cloud person also, right? And even though I may be focused on this stuff, I need to know how all of it works. And my own company, and in this particular case, I can now do this as part of my business. I should really have the ability to do this because sometimes our clients might be using the Amazon cloud for services, even though I might
Right.
be using Microsoft stuff to talk to it or Google
Right.
bits to automate it. How about that? All right, let's see. What have I got here? It says root user. It brought me back to this page where I originally created a new account. And then I am user. Is that like I am Sam here? Hold on a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
It's the
user
it's
with
the
an account that
non-root.
performs daily tasks. Would that be? I just created an account.
Right.
The account alias was
So you're going to have to go back in. What you're going to need to do is log in as your root user and create
oh
the
my
I am
god.
user.
Okay.
I think
So
that's
that's
what
what
you
I
have
got to
to
do.
do.
Here we go. I believe it remembered who I was because I said remember because I tend to do that. Let's see. And it wants the password again. Okay. So that password didn't do any good. And of course, I remember it now because I wrote it somewhere.
Because remember, we're old.
Yep.
Okay. We write things down.
Yes, we do. Let's see if it's smart.
Physical
Hey, look.
security. You know, I
I
mean,
got
it's
the
in
favorite the
Chicago. It's in
spinny
your
icon.
house.
Hey, look. New services.
You're
Got
logged
it.
in.
Hey, so by the
Cool.
way, so this is like a refresher on how to log into Amazon because you know what? I think we did this ages back. One of our first shows was let's set up some Amazon, shall we? And you're right, it's different,
Yes.
and this is
It
nicer.
is different. It's
And
changed.
actually, that's safer because I got
I
a MFA and everything from it. All right,
Oh, did you
yeah,
MFA?
nice.
Nice. Yeah,
All right,
multi-factor
what do I
keys.
want to do? I want to build. I want to launch a virtual machine within two, and it tells you how long it takes to get there. But
Free
you gave
AWS
me
training.
a to-do list. The first thing I need to do when I get here is to what was that? I am user. Where
I
would
am
I do
user.
that?
Yes.
Let's go see.
So let's do a search in the top middle.
I am.
There you go.
Let's go see. Uh-huh. Security alerts. The root user for this account does not. I thought I had it. Let me enable it.
Uh,
Activate it. So you know what? It MFA'd me to check my identity. But after that, once I'm
okay.
in, you have to actually enable it. So I have a
Right.
Authenticator app. I do. I have an Authenticator app actually. I wonder if it'll let me use.
I
I
love
wonder
that.
if it'll let me use the Microsoft Authenticator.
Yes, it
Okay, here
will.
it goes. 1 second.
Show this QR
Let me
code.
go open up the Authenticator app. The Authenticator app is set up in my system over here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it very well. Oh yeah, because I have
Yeah,
my
yeah.
monitor.
We can see
Anyway,
your
there's
phone.
the phone.
It's
Authenticator is the Microsoft Authenticator, and what I do is I hit the plus sign on it, and I click on Other, Google, Facebook, etc. Because this is an other, and I'm going to click on Show QR code over here, and now it's gonna look at it, and it's spotted it right away, and it added it somewhere. Where did it go? Somewhere at the bottom. Here we go. Amazon Web Services. Now it's asking for two consecutive codes. Two executive codes. All right. I'm not sure why.
so on your well, what it wants to
Oh,
do, see, because I can get my phone and I can connect to your here. Let me
oh, I
get my
get it.
phone
So
out.
like when this one expires,
Ah,
I put the next code.
yes. Because what happens is if I push
Mm-hmm.
plus, scan a QR
Yep.
code,
All
all
right.
right, secret
The
saved.
secret.
So I've got your secret.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is what you don't have and what this Amazon Web Services is not going to have is my
Hey, look,
secret.
success.
Yes. So yours is set up. And even though I've got this Amazon Web Service root
Mm-hmm.
account,
Mine's set up to go to my
um,
authenticator, and I will get this. So that means even if you copy this information right now, it's not going to help you.
right, it's still not going to help because it's assigned to your MFA. So, like my number is 463-654, and so my number doesn't match your
Got it.
number because it's based off a different random seed and blah
All
blah
right.
blah. So that's how it connects it all the way
All
around.
right. Let's take a look what we got over here so far.
Let me take this.
So far now we have over here users. I went here to users. Now I add a user. It's where we're talking about our IAM account. Is that my next step?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to add a
Yes.
user.
I believe so.
Let's make one. Username, and I'm going to call it uh, Ralphazan. All right. It's the Ralphazan username.
There you go.
Ralphazan, the admin. Ralphazan, the admin. Oh, nope. It wants specific characters. Ralphazan. So Ralphazan 1. There we go. Why not? Access type.
There you go.
Aha. Programmatic. Enables access ID key in the secret access ID too. This is for code, for development tools.
Right.
Console access, and then it means I need a password. So I could do both, potentially.
Right.
All right. And now it wants a console password. And of course, I want to do custom here because I can't go crazy. And I'm going to make it different from
Right.
what I had here before. One moment. I have to make sure to copy these over to my before I forget it, because sometimes I do stuff in OneNote or Notepad and I forget where I leave them. Oh, hey, no, that's not going to work. Just copy this.
So
Okay.
this MFA and the way all of this works is really it's solving a problem that we had that was really kind of
Mm-hmm.
gross. So one of the things that on my trip um, to Texas, we took our little Roku box, and one of the really cool things about that is that uh, in order to set it up in the hotel, they've got software on it that knows that it needs to connect, but there's not a keyboard associated with this little Roku device. So what it does is it actually pops up its own Wi-Fi
Right.
network that you connect to with your um, phone or tablet or
Mm-hmm.
computer, and it just acts as a proxy and lets you hit the
Right.
buttons on that screen. It's like the oh,
Yes,
are
I
you
am.
in?
So now it wants me to add a user to
Oh,
a group. Do
nice.
I create a group or do I join an existing group? Or
Um,
copy permissions from existing user? No, there is no existing user. This is the first one.
yeah, add a user. Just try to add a user to a group. Does it
Does it say
say? Yeah, there's no
there
groups,
are no
so
groups
we're gonna have
because
to add.
I have to do this, create a group. But when I create a group, here's what happens. It's giving me some what looks like groups, or those are not groups. Those are policies. So I'm going to give it a group. I'm
Right.
going to go to groups like the Zon admins. Okay, and there's some
Hmm.
policies over here.
So based on job function,
So this one provides. So
administrator
if he has
access.
the
Yeah, you don't
full,
want that.
or maybe not full, maybe this the Zon guy
Yeah,
will be granting not account administrative permissions. Provide device setup information. Grants full rights to Alexa.
Alexa.
Provide gateway execution access. Yeah. Um, I feel like I should have
Right. So
all of
this is
these because they're
it's the principle of least
yes.
privilege, though. This is the account that you build to do one thing and one thing only. And that way, if that account is compromised, it's not able to do other
Got it.
things. So you don't log in every day with your root account, right?
Got it.
Because if someone gets access to your machine, they could,
And check
you
it out.
know,
There's something here called
blah, blah.
set permission boundary. Set a permission boundary to control the maximum number of this user can have permissions. Create a user without a permission boundary. This is going to be without a permission boundary right now.
Right. And so the reason that they put that in is because they want to, again, least privilege. So you don't give it everything because then you might as well just use your root account. Although the root account is the one that is that has the credit card associated with it. So
I just created a tag called
it's where
admins.
the
I gave
buck
it a
stops.
value true. Is that something that's proper or maybe not? Okay,
Sure.
it's whatever we want it to be. Score.
Yeah. These are just tags that you're putting in.
All right, I just tagged him. I gave him a score of 10. Next, review. User details. Okay, Ralph is on one.
And the reason that we use those tags is because that's how we manage things,
Ah.
So you could put city Chicago, for example, and we could wipe out the whole Midwest by, you
All
know,
right.
filtering on our
Oh, so
tags.
you see this
And
CSV? Is this the stuff that when you download it, it's just this information? Oh, because it's got the access key in it. And
right.
that's I use
And
that
that
for when I'm writing
access
my
key.
programs and I need to do my accesses, just like I do in whatchamacallit, in Azure.
So you've got both an access and a secret access
Email
key.
login. Look at that. Send email.
Yeah.
And what does it do? Opens my ancient email system. I'm going to send. You now have
There you go.
access. Uh, uh, M365chicago.com. Okay,
There you go.
and send. There we go. Done and done.
Yeah. And see, what's cool is that that is a one-time link that it sent you, and that's a deep link into the system. That's something that has to be built
Mm-hmm.
in, right? That's,
So now, if I want to play
you
with
know,
stuff, I can go home. Let me go home. AWS.
mhm.
Here I am again. Launch a virtual.
So um so to use the there you go, dive deeper or comprehensive, build, train, and deploy ML models. That's the data scientist. Right. Yes. There you go. Yeah. Yes. Well, see, I mean, and data is valueless though. Data doesn't have any value at all. Data is useless. Data doesn't help you. Information. Yeah, see, that's different. And that's what ML is all about. ML is turning data into information. And that's what a data scientist does is they help you train models that can, transform your data into actionable information. Yeah. Yeah. True that. Yes. Yes. There you go. Yeah. It's a guided tour. Yes. Right. Right. We want to the it's all about least privilege. You don't want to log in with the admin account. I mean, that's what we used to do back in the day. I know, it's okay.
Machine. Build a web app. Pick a learning path. Oh, I like this. Look at this. Learning. Hey, check it out. Learn the fundamentals. I like it. Dive deeper. I like this. Look at this.
Right. And even
Oh
if you
wow!
pull,
Watch
yeah.
it. Watch the
Anyway,
intro video.
so
The other piece,
but
for that
we
matter, maybe I'll
started
create
out
several
talking about the different
several
roles, talked
flavors of
about
that account.
producers, and talked
That
about
way,
all
if
of that.
anything ever gets
One of the reasons
compromised,
that you use these
So what,
use
folks,
these
whatever you
different
see right
accounts,
here, right
especially
now,
when
I'll
you're
just tell
just
you
setting
by
it
the
up,
end of
is
the
that
day,
eventually you can
it
hand
won't
that
be there
account
anymore.
over to
And
someone that's
anyway,
going
as
to
you
take
saw,
over
we
that
need the
role,
Authenticator app to
and
make
you
it
don't
happen.
have to build that account up later. Delegation.
Yes. Speaking of roles. Hmm.
Right.
Delegation, right? So you can be all, because destiny is all. You can be all, or you can, as they say, delegate. And here's the cool thing: every person, essentially every individual, like you, yourself, and myself, is an organization potentially. We can make ourselves an
Sorry.
organization, or we can bring in an organization. So you could have
Yeah.
your organization.
Um,
You could have all this set up. I could have all this set up. I can bring you into my organization, so you can be part of mine. So just more organizations within organizations, and okay. All right, so we started with we started going down that thing. We got things fixed. We said we needed a role to get
right.
stuff done. We came through the point where like I just want to learn how to do this stuff, and then we came
Right.
back
And
full
and
circle to roles again,
this really is
to show
just
that there are
pieces.
different roles.
This
In
is
fact, here's a training on
bundles of
learning how
information,
to do these different
packages,
things.
right?
Now, these are not
Packages.
necessarily
They
roles. These are
package this
more like skill
information
sets to
around the
perform
different
roles.
personalities
All
or
right, just so we're not looking at
personas.
roles just in
I've
case
got to
someone
help
says
my
those aren't
my
roles.
BA friends out there.
You're right,
They
they're
they
not.
package them around the personas, and so a hobbyist builder. Here's something that
Right,
a hobbyist builder
right.
might want to learn how to do. And these are all the tutorials, and they have a lot more. You can dive deeper as well.
Yes.
Good to go.
Absolutely. We love our BA friends. Yes.
Right.
Correct. Right. So yeah, the roles would be like, for example, maybe just take for example, full stack developer. You see, architect fits in there. There's an architect developer, but then there's also architect that fits in DevOps engineer. See, that would be a role. The architect is responsible for the design and the setting up, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
However, their
Yeah.
skill set may be of the developer, of the engineer, or it could be all across the board, like sort of like what we do. Like we would fit pretty much what we do is we do all these categories. We may not be necessarily good at them in specifics,
Yeah.
but we know we can
Another
actually
way
do
to
those,
look
right?
at it
Because we
is
do
that
Excel, we've done
we're
all
the
this
first
stuff.
base
So we
coach,
know how to do like a SQL
right?
statement, for example, and how to play
We're
with data,
we're
but we're not
the
necessarily DBA
the
level or to
manager,
come up with like, well,
right?
the join
We're
that
not the
fits exactly
players.
this index
We
to
have
that.
players that
We may not get there,
are
but we'll have that
talented
idea.
in
So
specific pieces of the implementation,
yes.
and we coordinate them. You mentioned music earlier. We're the
Oh
conductors, or the
yes.
composer. Oh yeah, yeah, probably demonetized our video right there. Look,
Yes. Oh, I wonder if this is on here. Hold on a second.
yeah,
I wonder if we'll get in trouble for showing it. Hold on a second. Uh, yeah, right off there, we're demonetized. We can't make money on this right off the bat. But there was like an intro for like going through this. It
yes.
was
Oh,
really
I know.
cool.
No,
And but
no,
so
but it
my
was
team, the
close. It
White
was a good
Sox, and your
game.
team, the Yankees, played
Great, great fun was
yesterday.
had by all.
Let's see if it's in the news. Oh no, that's the news about who won. Sorry, we won, Larry.
We'll link to it.
It was very good game. And why are they showing these pictures on my MLB? It's like, okay, fine. That's true. We're just
Yes.
where is that intro video? I think it's in YouTube actually. YouTube. Yeah, we'll link to it.
Hmm.
And in fact, maybe that's the way we can keep it from being demonetized. But it was a cool video where they
Yeah.
show him coming out of the stalks. If you're ever watching the beginning, go to the feed and watch it from the beginning. Where like there, you can see the old style White Sox jersey in this particular case, and they're going through the corn stalks, and then they come out right into the field, just like the movie, And of course, they have
I
the
did.
music.
I
Your
did.
hair
I'm
is standing
recording a
from your
video
arm,
over
and you're like,
here. I'm gonna have to drop
and all that
and
stuff going
run.
on. Yes. All right. So that's our little demonetization
They
aspect for the show today. Larry, I'm aware that you've actually went 10 minutes past your time.
it might be the only one that's left. Oh,
You're probably going to want to give
that's
it some
okay too.
attention because they might be
That's okay
mentioning
too.
your name left
Last
and
man
right.
standing, right? Somebody's
Especially
got to turn the lights
with
off.
the way things are going, your name might be bandied about a lot more often than
All
not.
right, Mr. Ralph.
The only one that to talk about, right? Is that's okay. Hey, that's okay. That's why you're here. Somebody's got to turn off the lights.
The atmosphere is getting
Well,
thin.
no, we're not saying that that's happening. We're just saying that let's just say Larry's
But
in the case of like
yeah,
we're
there are
finally
other
getting to
things
the
that are
point where
getting
like the
very
higher
thick.
the higher we go, the
Let's
more
just say.
alone it seems up here. It's getting
All
it's
right.
getting it's getting lonely.
Wonderful show. Look
We're,
forward to next week.
yes,
Yeah.
we're not in the top. It's just the air.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Indeed. All right, sir. I'm going to now switch over to. Yes, I'm going to switch over to next week, and then I'm going to start fading us out.
Bye.
Hopefully, our sounds came. Yes, I believe our.